Hello everyone, welcome back to Meta Perfume. I am Emily, here again today with Twixie, who is off camera doing her thing. Twixie's a little bit mad at me because she went to the vet and they said that she had a urinary tract infection. So I gave her a bunch of antibiotics for 5 days, poor thing. Put that drop in her mouth, that dropper, and she is kind of pissed off now. But hopefully she feels better and it was all worth it. I hope. So yeah, getting older. She's definitely no spring chicken anymore, but she's in pretty great shape for being probably about 16 years old. So I'm very thankful for that. Snorty. So today I'm continuing my series on the fantasy range, and today I have another maybe sort of bittersweet fragrance. This is the Glitter Fantasy, and again I am wearing my plum wig because plum is once again a prominent note in the top of this fragrance. So the last week I covered the Midnight Fantasy, which is another plum fragrance in the fantasy range. It's got a really bright fruity top with, not this one, that one. Midnight Fantasy, bright fruity top with plum, sour cherry, and raspberry. This one has a top with red fruits and plum, but I don't think the top is as important in this fragrance as the top is in Midnight Fantasy, if that makes sense. This one is heavier on the middle and base notes, and I'll put the notes up here. So we have top notes, red fruits and plum, middle notes of heliotrope, lotus, and violet. I think that's a great base, obviously with the purple florals, so you're gonna get that powdery quality. So I love lotus as a note. Anytime there's lotus in a fragrance, I'm generally like all about it. This one I don't think is really prominent in lotus. I think the purple flowers are a little bit more forward in this, but yeah, still nice. And then the base, musk, benzoin, and oud or agarwood. So bittersweet because while this fantasy is fairly new, this Glitter Fantasy came out in 2020, it is no longer being manufactured apparently and difficult to find. Unfortunately, I looked, I could not find it on the discount fragrance websites anymore. I think I got this, I don't know. I'm not sure if I got it on eBay or if I got it on FragranceNet. Honestly, it's been a little while. So this one, I would say, is kind of like the older sister, more sophisticated, grown-up version of Midnight Fantasy. It's different, but it's got that plum note in common. And the middle is more purple. So it's got a lot more powder. It's a little more subdued. It's definitely not as bright, since that brightness of Midnight Fantasy comes from the sour cherry mostly, I think. Whereas this, with the red fruits and plum, is just, so let me spray it. Anyway, I think I'm a little scattered today. Yeah, I couldn't find it really except for on eBay, Mercari, and then there was one that looked like you could buy it new on perfumelion.com, but I can't vouch for that website because I've never ordered from there. The date on it said 2024, which always makes me a little wary. So if you have any experience with Perfume Lion, good or bad, leave it in the comments, because I don't want to recommend a site where I don't know, really have any experience with it or know for sure. I know that it's getting harder to trust online shopping. It seems like I have a lot of like hit or miss kind of experiences. So I don't know, buyer beware. But anyway, you can still find this on eBay or Mercari, but it's not cheap anymore. Like it's now, I saw it, I don't know, I think maybe $85 on eBay and about the same on Mercari. So like, yeah, hard to find now. You know, kind of, meh, it is what it is. But yes, this is not a bad fragrance. I think It lasts not quite as long as the Midnight Fantasy. I'd say I get about 5 or 6 hours out of this one. It's definitely a little bit more grown up than that one is with the powderiness. It's not crazy powdery, but it's definitely got that accord. And that would be probably the second accord underneath the fruitiness. So fruity, powdery, and then with the benzoin and the musk in the base. You've got a nice anchor, a little complexity with the oud. So yeah, this is like a sophisticated fantasy. I would say, you know, I didn't really think too much of it until I started preparing for this video, and then it kind of grew on me. The more I wore it, the more I realized, like, yeah, this isn't bad. It's kind of interesting. That said, it being discontinued is kind of a bummer. So again, I hope that by the time I get these videos posted, most of them are still being sold, but if not, you know what it is. Anyway, thank you so much for tuning in today. Please give this a like if you liked it, and subscribe if you haven't. That would be fantastic. I really appreciate you. Take care, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.